Hello and welcome to the June 12th edition of Cecil.tv's Cecil Weekly. I'm your host, Rob Churnside, and I've been on vacation for a few weeks. Been all over the place. Sacramento, Salt Lake City, Colorado, and now I'm back home. Well, boy, am I glad to be back home in Cecil County. It really gives you, you see wonderful places, but it gives you a wonderful appreciation of just how great Cecil County is. I'm glad to be back. And we have with us tonight another person who's glad to be back, Chuck Foster, president of the Friends of Bohemia. Welcome, Chuck,
well, thank you,
to
Ron.
Cecil Weekly.
Appreciate it.
Oh, we appreciate you being here. Tell us about the Friends of the Bohemia.
Well, first I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to speak today and to reach out to the wonderful people of Cecil County, because like you said, I'm very happy to be back after having lived on all compass points. That Cecil County is truly a wonderful place. But the Friends of the Bohemia, it's an all-volunteer nonprofit watershed improvement association. We were incorporated in 2015. Basically, our mission is to bring together anyone who lives, works, or plays in our watershed, and to try to work together to help each other do what we can do to improve the health of our rivers and our waterway and protect and preserve our beautiful river. Really, our emphasis is on a spirit of cooperation and collaboration as opposed to confrontation. And we want to make sure that we have fun in the process. So
right.
we have a great time.
And I understand you'll be having fun tomorrow night with a presentation of your report card for the Bohemia at Chateau
Day, I believe it's pronounced. That's right. So one of the activities that we do is we do water quality sampling on the river all year long, and we have produced a public education piece. So tomorrow night, the public is invited at 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday, June 13th at Chateau Day. We're going to unveil our report card and talk about the findings and the science behind it, and talk a little bit about what the Friends of the Bohemia does, and also Chateau Day will give a talk about their efforts. So,
and that's not all. You're going to be, you told me June 17th you're going to be involved in the wade-in. That's
right. Thanks for reminding me, Rob, because on June 17th, the Cecil County Wade-In happens in Charlestown. It's going to be a great event, family-friendly. Bring the family out, and it's going to be awesome. We'll be doing the sneaker index, where we wade into the river to see how far we can walk before we can't see our sneakers anymore.
Right.
And the farther you can walk in, and before your sneakers disappear, that's an indicator of better water quality.
And that is basically based on, you were saying, turbidity or dissolved stuff, sediment, whatever in the water?
That's correct.
So I'm looking at these criteria here from 2015, when you guys got started, basically back then, right?
Right.
2016, there was an overall 6% increase in the water quality of Bohemia River. So your efforts must be paying off to some extent.
Well, we can't take credit for everything, but we're happy to see a favorable trend, and we're doing our bit.
Well, I know education is big for you guys. So if you educate and people follow best practices, it seems like improvement will occur.
That's right. We all have to work together, and that's one of the things that, what can we do as an organization is really educate people that everybody has to do what they can do in their own little sphere of influence. Otherwise, the Bay's never going to improve. That there's no way that we can write a check and have somebody else fix the problem for us.
Right.
Each of us individually has to do what we can do.
And that's homeowners, farmers, boaters. There's all kinds of, I'm seeing all kinds of tips here, like don't litter, obviously, right? You clean up, you have cleanup crews too, right?
We do. So that's one of the things we do, and is twice a year we do a stream cleanup where we pick up litter in our watershed. And then we also just signed up for the county's Adopt a Road program, where we've adopted a section of Town Point Road to keep clean 4 times a year. The real benefit of that is it gets the community involved. And
right.
Everybody can come out and spend an hour or two and pick up trash and feel good, and then they'll talk to people and they won't ever throw trash out again. So it's incredible.
That's great. And that's not, I also see that you have a website maybe where people can contact you or get involved or donate or become a member.
We do. If anybody would like to get involved, and that's our whole bent, is getting the community involved. We can be reached at friendsofthebohemia@gmail.com is our email address. And we also have a website, www.friendsofthebohemia.org, and our Facebook page is out there. So like us on Facebook.
Great, great. And you kayak, do you?
I do. I love to kayak, and that's one way. We have paddle tours of the river, and that's one way you get people up close and personal with the river, and they're hooked for life.
Awesome. Well, Chuck, anything else you would like to add?
No, just come get involved and be a part of the solution.
And maybe awesome. Maybe you'll interface with the new state park.
We will. We're hoping the new state park is going to be located on the Bohemia River, and that's really the site. If it's where I believe it's going to be, is the most beautiful spot in the entire bay. I know you were on the sassafras, but this is the most beautiful site in the bay, if not in the world. And I'm hoping that it'll be a good thing for the community as well as the river, as DNR manages the public access to the water, and they can help preserve the sensitive environment that site has. It has a forested buffer that helps slow stormwater down and allows the plants to take up the stormwater and pollution before it gets to the river.
Right.
And it also has wetlands, and there's some unique species there. There's the American lotus plant grows there, and it's found in very few places. So we're hoping to be a part of the public dialogue as the park gets into the further planning stages.
And I believe I read that there's 14,000 linear feet of shoreline. Does that sound correct?
That's what I read as well. So
that's a lot of linear feet of good water waiting to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you guys will be instrumental in making sure that does happen.
Well, we're going to do our best, and we're very optimistic that this is going to be a good. For one thing, it'll be a good place for us to reach out to the public and help educate and engage the community.
I'm sure that'll happen. And I'm sure we're going to get you back to play that song that you played for us about water. Watch the way the water flows.
Right. I would love to. That'd be great.
We're definitely going to have you come back, and you can tell us about your efforts with the state park and the river cleanup and the Bohemia River, Friends of Bohemia, stuff like that. One more thing, folks, you should know that students in Leeds Elementary School were in communication with the International Space Station. Cecil Libraries kicked off their summer reading program, and Chuck will be back.
Yay.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it.
I'm Allison Donnelly for Cecil.tv. Today, Leeds Elementary School students will speak live with Colonel Jack Fischer, an astronaut serving on the International Space Station. Students will have 20 minutes to chat with Colonel Fischer, or Two Fish as they call him, about his experience as an astronaut and his ongoing mission on the ISS. Good morning. I'm here with Tim Dominic, who's the MC for today's downlink. Tim, will you tell us a bit about what's happening here today?
Sure, Allison. Today, the students at Leeds Elementary School are going to be able to talk with Colonel Jack Fischer, who's an astronaut at the International Space Station. He launched the space station on April 20th, and he's due to return after a 6-month stint in space sometime in October. And so they're going to have 20 minutes to ask the Colonel questions about his adventures in space, and he's going to be able a chance to have his live conversation broadcast all over the world.
Right now, the International Space Station is just off the coast of New Zealand in the Pacific Ocean.
When we finish talking with Colonel Fischer, it's going to be over Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, where the Olympics were last year. That's how fast the space station is moving. It's moving at over 17,000 miles an hour, okay, at over 250 miles in orbit over the Earth.
Well, I'm ready to get started when y'all are. What questions do you have?
Thank you for that, Colonel Fischer. Our next question comes from 4th grader Chase Stallings.
What is the most interesting
Well,
thing you
Justin,
have
it
ever
was
seen
when I
in
was 6
space?
years old, so even younger than you guys. Oh my gosh, that is a tough question because so much stuff is cool. And it could be even the smallest thing, like how a bubble behaves when it comes off a connector, or it can be as the grandeur that you see when you look out the window. I think probably the coolest thing that I've seen so far is when I went outside for a spacewalk, just having no small little window to look through, but the entirety of space. In my field of view, it was amazing and breathtaking, and I think just seeing the Earth in that way and the stars above them was the coolest thing I've seen by far.
Thank you. Our next question is from 3rd grader Ryan Dominic.
How is electricity for the space station generated, and what happens when the power goes out?
Well, we have really big solar arrays. So the size of the space station, if you go from corner to corner on the solar arrays, is about as big as a football field. It's huge, makes tons of power. And then those solar arrays charge batteries because every 90 minutes we go around the Earth. So there's about 45 minutes of light and 45 minutes of dark. So we charge up the batteries and then we use the batteries. If we have a problem, we have 8 different channels that we can use. So there's backups if we have a problem with our power. If we start losing too many channels, we have to start turning stuff off and lose science. So that's not a very good day. So we want to make sure we don't lose power. Certainly not a lot of power. Well, have a great day. I'll give you a sideways spin before you go. I dare you all to dream, and I hope you have a great day.
Good morning. What's your name and what grade are you in?
3rd.
And what's your name?
Ryan,
What question did you ask Colonel Fischer?
how is electricity for a space station generated, and what happens when the power goes out?
And do you remember his answer?
No.
What was the coolest thing you learned today?
Everything.
What's your favorite part about learning about the space station?
Everything.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning. What's your name and what grade are you in?
I'm Chase Stallings and I'm in 4th grade.
And what did you ask Colonel Fischer today?
I asked him, what is the most interesting thing that you have ever seen in space?
And what was his answer?
He said that he liked seeing space. He liked seeing Earth from the point of view in space.
And what was the coolest thing you learned today?
The coolest thing that I learned is that it can be amazing being in space, like all the food that you can eat, that you can do random flips anywhere.
Do you want to be an astronaut?
Yes, I do.
Very cool, thank you. How does a program like this inspire kids to go into STEM fields?
Oh my goodness, our, not even just today, I know we're definitely focusing on today, but our students have been so fortunate working with Orbital ATK and Cecil County Public Schools and our STEM mission that we have so many opportunities, and it was really great this year, especially to see during our science fair, where our students are actually citing these opportunities. So they're really taking it to heart and thinking about what we're doing every day.
What do you think they learned from today?
I think they learned to dream big, you know? Never in a million years would I have thought that we get to talk to an astronaut in space, and that's exactly what we got to do today. And, you know, it's nothing I've done in my lifetime, but these students got to do it in their elementary careers.
Very cool, thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Rachel Wright, Public Services Manager for the Cecil County Public Library. Today we are at the Summer Reading Kickoff Picnic at Northeast Town Park. We're celebrating the start of summer reading with events for children, ranging from a DJ playing music to Mr. Softy, Kona Ice, and many more fun activities for children. We will be having reading throughout the summer along with special performers at all of our branches, and we certainly encourage everyone to visit any of their local branches to sign up and spend the summer with us.
I'm here with Cecil County Librarian Morgan Miller, and I'm here as the honorary chairman of the summer reading program, and I want to endorse and encourage everyone to read at least one book a month throughout the summer. I cannot stress the importance of literacy to today's society and also to the children of the public school system. And every child that participates in this event will receive a certificate of achievement for having literary proficiency.
One thing about education, if you have it, they cannot take it from you. It's important to learn things as you go through life because this is a forever changing life. 95% of all of the things that you see in this world right now have occurred during your lifetime, and they're increasingly becoming more and more complex. You have to stay with the times. By reading, you can learn anything and everything you ever want to know. The people that cannot read are blessed in staying in the rut they're in right now. I encourage you to take advantage of the library system. I'm going to give you a number of small facts here, if I can hold this paper up. Research has shown that students who engage in reading and learning activities during the summer are better prepared to return to school. Reading as little as 15 minutes a day will help you maintain your reading skills. The idea of reading basically opens up the entire world to people that can't be throughout the world all at one time. So you can take these things with you everywhere you go in life.